President Trump presides over an historic peace agreement ending the Israeli-Hamas war, speaking in both Israel and Egypt. All 20 remaining live Israeli hostages are safely returned from Hamas custody, and Democrat officials call each other out over varying responses. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. President Trump presided yesterday over one of the most critical peace agreements in Middle East history.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for. They have done things over the last month that I think were really unthinkable. Nobody thought this could happen. With the historic agreement we've just signed, those prayers of millions have finally been answered. As you know, the hostages have been returned, and further work goes on having to do with the, sadly to say, bodies. Together we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there.
Fighting has raged over the last couple of years after the brutal October 7th terror attack from Hamas into Israel, in which captives, hostages, were taken by both Hamas and citizens in Gaza. The president was greeted by the Knesset with a round of chanting, a standing ovation when he went to speak yesterday.
Anasi Donald J. Trump.
Later that afternoon at the peace conference signing in Egypt, the president encouraged world leaders to work together to ensure that the deal stuck, calling for the entire Gaza Strip during rebuilding to be demilitarized.
Today, for the first time anyone can remember, we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to put the old feuds and bitter hatreds behind us, and that's why so many people in this room, they didn't get along. Some did, some didn't, but they're getting along now. This has brought the people together. This is the first time the Middle East crisis has brought people together as opposed to driving them apart. And to declare that our future will not be ruled by the fights of the generations past, which is foolish. So together, let us continue in the spirit of cooperation and goodwill that has finally brought us to this incredible, historic breakthrough. If we do together, we will reach the Middle East's incredible destiny, a safe and prosperous and beautiful crossroads of culture and commerce, faith in humanity and geographic center. This will be the geographic center of the world. We've all agreed that supporting Gaza must be done to lift up the people themselves, but we don't want to fund anything having to do with the bloodshed, hatred, or terror, as has happened in the past. And for the same reason, we're also agreed that Gaza's reconstruction requires that it be demilitarized and that a new, honest civilian police force must be allowed to create a safe condition for the people in Gaza.
Notably, the President of the United States was given Egypt's highest state honor, the Order of the Nile.
I'm deeply honored to receive from you Egypt's highest state honor, the Order of the Nile. The Nile is so beautiful, so magnificent. It's such a beautiful title, the Order of the Nile. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Appreciate it. Great honor.
And the president of Pakistan again called for the president to receive the Nobel Peace Prize.
For his outstanding, extraordinary contributions to, first, stop war between India and Pakistan, and then achieve ceasefire along with his very wonderful team. And today, again, I would like to nominate this great president for Nobel Peace Prize.
As of yesterday, all 20 remaining Israeli hostages were returned from Hamas custody into Israel. Here are a few of the precious reunions. Of course, all of the hostages and their families were eager to shower their praise for the Trump administration in working tirelessly to get the hostages home.
Along with my friends, which were all murdered, one of them, Kamirada, was held. His body is still held in Gaza. Later on, I was taken captive for 498 days, leaving my wife with just 2 dolls up to then. She was pregnant in the bomb shelter for the whole period of time. What I thought is that they were all going to do this one. She later on gave birth, and I got my life back. Peace to you and your staff.
And while some Democrat officials, past and present, like former President Bill Clinton, praised the Trump administration for his work in ending the Israel-Hamas conflict, many current Democrats, from senators like Elizabeth Warren, Richard Blumenthal, Chris Coons, Rob Wyden, Mark Warner, made an effort not to mention the President of the United States in discussing the end of the war, along with governors like Gavin Newsom, gubernatorial candidate for Virginia Abigail Spanberger, Governor Kathy Hochul of New York, along with a flurry of representatives on the Democrat side of the aisle in Congress. Representative Jasmine Crockett specifically saying, quote, "Raising hell at home and then pretending to be the president of peace is diabolical," end quote. Senator John Fetterman, Democrat of Pennsylvania, criticized fellow Democrats on their reactions.
Absolute elation. I mean, how can we all celebrate this thing? I mean, you've had human beings held underground for over 2 years and tortured and beaten and starved, forced to dig their own graves and things. Now they can finally come back home. And now everyone should be celebrating these things. And clearly the Palestinians are, and people in Israel are too. And now there are people in our nation, some of those aren't really celebrating or even acknowledging a thing. And that's part of the truth there too. It really was never about peace. It was more about an anti-Israel agenda. And now why can't we all, whatever, where you are politically, this is a huge development, and this terrible, awful war is going to come to an end. And now you can rebuild Gaza, and these families are now reunited. That's a big thing, and it's a strange time if you can't celebrate this.
Before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast. And join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we take a closer look at the major tariff threat by the president towards China and other developing situations in the Middle East and abroad. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Take care.